Hey guys, what's up? Today we have the announcement of the reprints within the OCG Tournament Pack 2017, Volume 4, and these show a variety of unusual and very strange cards being reprinted. The first two I have covered, so if you want to see them, you can check out the videos. These will be in the description, or I might put a couple of cards up for them. These are Darkhexyl and Blowback. First card is Darkhexyl Diffusion. This is a Dark Rock level 3 with 1000 attack and 1600 defense. And its effect is you can substitute this card for any one fusion material monster, but the other fusion material monsters must be correct. You contribute fusion material monsters on the field, including this face-up card. Special summon one corresponding dark fusion monster from your extra deck. This card is useful as in the hand, it can be used as a substitute for any material. However, when it is on the field, this can stop you from needing polymerization. However, it does limit you to only dark fusion monsters, which may not be much of a problem provided you run plenty of them within your extra deck. The next card is Mythical Beast Cerberus. This is a light spellcaster level 4 with 1400 attack and 1400 defense, and its effect is each time a spell card is activated, place one spell counter on this card. When that spell card resolves, this card gains 500 attack for each spell counter on it. If damage calculation is conducted involving this card, remove all spell counters from it at the end of the battle phase. This card, if played correctly, can become very powerful to deal with stronger monsters. However, the downside is this card would not be allowed to attack until you gained enough counters. Otherwise, the counters themselves will just reset at the end of your turn. The next card is Armored Cyburn. This is a support from a Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. This was in Season 3, I believe, and it was used near the end of the series, when I believe Zane, in his darker form, dueled Jaden just before the gate so that he could rescue Jesse. Anyway, this card is a Wind Machine Union level 4 with 0 attack and 2000 defense, and its effect is once per turn you can either target one Cyber Dragon you control or one fusion monster you control that lists Cyber Dragon as a fusion material monster. Equip this card to that target, or unequip this card and special summon it in face-up attack position. Once per turn, while equipped to a monster by this effect, you can target one face-up monster on the field. The equipped monster loses exactly 1000 attack, and if it does, destroy that target. A monster can only be equipped with one union monster at a time. If the equipped monster would be destroyed, destroy this card instead. This is an average effect with a Cyber Dragon. This can work up to 2 times, provided you can protect it, but it can be very situational and may serve no purpose if it responds to a card that activates when it is destroyed by a card effect. The next card is Ojama Blue. This is a light beast level 2 with 0 attack and 1000 defense, and its effect is when this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can add 2 Ojama cards from your deck to your hand. This can include Ojama. This is the main searcher within the Ojama archetype. The next card is Wormworm. This is a fire insect level 3 with 600 attack and 1400 defense, and its effect is if this card is destroyed, send the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck to the graveyard. This isn't useful unless you want to run a specific deck out. The next card is Insect Imitation. This is a normal spell card that says tribute one monster, special summon one insect type monster from your deck whose level is 1 higher than the tributed monster. This can be used with the new Legendary Duelist cards, as we had Weevil support in there, and can help to bring out a stronger monster quickly, provided it's an insect type monster. The next card is Ancient City Rainbow Ruins. This is a field spell that says you must have this many Crystal Beast cards in your spell and trap card zone to activate and resolve these effects. 1+, this card cannot be destroyed by card effects. 2+, once per turn, including the opponent's, you can halve the battle damage you take from one attack. 3+, during either player's turn, when a spell or trap card is activated, you can send one Crystal Beast monster you control to the graveyard, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. 4+, once per turn, during your main phase, you can draw one card. 5+, once per turn, during your main phase, you can target one Crystal Beast monster card in your spell and trap card zone, special summon that target. This is the field spell for the Crystal Beast and has many benefits to it, from protecting your field, reducing battle damage, negating effects, drawing cards, and re-summoning your monsters, as if you remember, Crystal Beasts, when they're destroyed, they act as continuous spell cards, so they go to your zone. This means often it's the case that you're unable to use any of your other spell or trap cards, and so by providing this flexibility, it gives you more options later on in the duel. The next card is Spell Gear. This is a normal spell card that says send 3 face-up Ancient Gear cards you control to the graveyard. You can special summon up to 1 Ancient Gear Golem from your hand and 1 from your deck, ignoring the summoning conditions. Then destroy all monsters you control except Ancient Gear Golems. You cannot normal summon or set until the end of your next turn. This is a very, very powerful effect if used correctly, but must ensure that your opponent does not have cards to either negate this effect or permit it to go through and, for example, to kaiju it. Being able to summon 2 at the same time means not only are you deck thinning for one instance, but you are doing so at lesser cost, because typically you would have had to have summoned 4 monsters in order to bring these 2 Ancient Gears out. In this case, this means you are still using 4 cards, but you have a bit more flexibility around that. If you've got an existing field, but just not enough to summon it, this helps to encourage an easier summoning. The next card is Magical Citadel of Endymion. This is a field spell that says each time a spell card is activated, place 1 spell counter on this card when that spell card resolves. If a card with a spell counter or counters is destroyed, place its spell counters on this card. Once per turn, if you would activate a card effect by removing a spell counter or counters from your side of the field, you can remove that many spell counters from this card instead. If this card will be destroyed, you can remove 1 spell counter from this card instead. This is useful if you're running a heavy spell counter deck, such as using a Skilled Dark Magician. The next card is Court of Justice. This is a continuous spell card that says once per turn, you can special summon 1 fairy-type monster from your hand. You must control a face-up level 1 fairy-type monster to activate and to resolve this effect. You can only activate the effects of 1 Court of Justice per turn. This is not used, as though there are quite a few level 1 fairy types out there. The chances of keeping them on the field are very limited. This had a place within Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, the mobile app, considering that there was a deck made around this card. There was a particular level 1 that could boost other fairy types by 400 attack, and so made it viable. But consider that the rules for Duel Links are slightly different to how they are in the real game, and so in the real game it won't work in the same way it does in Duel Links. The next card is Mishizuri. This is a normal trap card that says activate only when a monster is sent from the field to the graveyard. Select and destroy 1 monster on the field. You can activate this card during the damage step. This card is useful when dealing with a particularly strong monster. However, you have to think that in many other cases, card protection effects are viable for stronger monsters, as they have their own protection. and so may not be worth it. The next card is Burst Rebirth. This is a normal trap card that says pay 2,000 life points, then target one monster in your graveyard, special summon that target in face down defense position. This is useful if you are running a defensive deck, or one that requires a lot of flip effect monsters. However, the cost may be too much and would prefer to run a shallow grave. The other two cards featured in this pack are a spell counter and a Dragonoid counter. I obviously understand why the spell counter's in there. You've got a lot of spell counter based support, but I don't actually know what this Dragonoid counter is for. So if anyone knows, please comment it down below. So what do you guys think of these reprints? Are they worth it, or have they missed a trick with what they could have used instead? Leave your comments down below. Like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe, click the bell for notifications, and as always, thank you for taking the time to watch this.